What comes to mind when you think of romaine lettuce, homemade croutons, and a Caesar dressing? A Caesar salad, right? Well, let's add in some pasta, a few other ingredients, and we're gonna make the most beautiful and delicious cold pasta salad. Welcome to the Salted Pepper, where we cook for real life using real food and we keep it real simple. And today's recipe is delicious chicken Caesar pasta salad. This comes together in no time at all, and oh my gosh, it is perfect for any luncheon that you want to serve it at. If you want to take it to a potluck or an outdoor summer barbecue, or in the middle of the winter even, it's a gorgeous dish and the flavors are amazing. So let's get started. I'm going to use the pressure cooker for this recipe, but if you didn't have a pressure cooker, just go ahead and boil your pasta on the stove like you normally do, and then proceed with the recipe. But I like to pressure cook my pasta because it's hands off and it's super easy. And to save more time, if I was doing this at home, I wouldn't have my prep done right now. I would go ahead and get the pasta going first. While the pasta's pressure cooking, then you can finish your prep work. And so the recipe will be done from start to finish a little bit quicker. All right, we're gonna put in 8 ounces of rotini pasta. That is about 3 cups, 2 cups of water, a half of a teaspoon of fine grind sea salt. That's just to get some flavor into that pasta. All right, let me stir this around a little bit. You want to get your pasta as much underneath of the liquid as you can. Now we're using a minimal amount of liquid, so I'm using exactly what this pasta needs to cook. If you wanted to make more pasta, or increase the liquid, you certainly can do that. You just will need to drain it at the end. And I hate doing that, so I use the exact amount of liquid that the pasta needs, and I won't have any left over at the end. All right, so we put our pressure lid on. Make sure the valve in the back is to the seal position. That's very important. And we're gonna go to pressure, high is what we want. For the rotini, I do a 4-minute pressure cook with a 4-minute natural release for this recipe. So once we have the 4-minute pressure cook time is up, I'll let it natural release for 4 minutes, then we'll release the pressure and we will move on to the rest of the recipe. All right, the pin is dropped. Now I can open up the lid and voila. Now I'm gonna pour in about a half of a cup of the Caesar dressing. This is a homemade dressing, but you could use the bottled kind. It's perfectly fine. Just use one that you really like. Pour in about a half of a cup. And I like to do this while the pasta's warm because the flavors from the Caesar dressing will absorb into the pasta as it cools. So once it's really well mixed, oh my gosh, it already smells so good. Once it's well mixed, I'm gonna turn it out onto this tray. Now the reason why I'm not putting it in a bowl to be able to put it into the refrigerator to chill is because I want it to chill very quickly. And if you have something with any depth, like a bowl would with the pasta in it, it's gonna take a lot longer to chill. So if you spread it out into a thinner layer, it's gonna chill a lot quicker. All right, there we go. Now, I'm not gonna cover it or anything like that. I'm gonna put it into the refrigerator and let it chill for about 30 minutes, and then we will add all of our magical ingredients to complete our chicken Caesar pasta salad. So it took about 20 minutes or so for the pasta to chill, and that's much quicker than if you have it in a deep bowl. Then I transferred it to this bowl, and I'm gonna add in the rest of the ingredients. So I have 1 10-ounce chicken breast, and I did this with the sous vide function on the Ninja Foodie, and it is the best texture for pasta salad or any type of cold salad. It's just wonderful. So I'm gonna add that in. Then I'm gonna add in my tomatoes. This is 1 cup of cherry tomatoes that I've just cut in half. You could add less or more or omit them if you don't like them. The ingredients from here on out are pretty much totally up to you. Like you don't even need to use chicken if you don't want to. It's perfectly fine. All right, and then 1 cup of cucumber, and that's not traditional, neither are the tomatoes in a Caesar salad, but it just makes this look so beautiful. So mix that up. My bowl's almost not big enough. And then we're gonna add in the romaine lettuce. This is 1 head of romaine that I chopped up. I definitely misjudged the bowl size this time. So I'm gonna grab a bigger bowl because there's no way I'm gonna be able to toss this. And we wanna mix it up really well. So I'm gonna grab a bigger bowl and put it in there. So for anybody that's saying, can I double this recipe? You can, but you're gonna have a lot of food. All right, so let's mix that up. And now we're gonna add in the Parmesan cheese. This is 1.5 ounces of shaved Parmesan. So you can use a knife or you can use a vegetable peeler. I do that sometimes. And then this ingredient might surprise you, and it really was the finishing touch to this pasta salad. And that is about 1/2 cup of golden raisins. Now you don't want to use, well, let me rephrase. You can use regular raisins if you want, if you're serving it for yourself and you know that they're raisins. But if you're gonna serve this to guests and stuff, I would definitely pick up the golden raisins. Otherwise, it looks like little dark specks and it's just not as pretty. The taste is gonna be the same, but the golden raisins are gonna be a little bit more appetizing to look at. All right, now, totally optional. You do not have to add this. And in fact, if you want crunch of croutons, don't add it at this point. Add it just before serving. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna mix them in to the bowl that I taste. I'm not gonna add them in because the dressing over time will soften the croutons and then you won't have the texture difference. Now, if you want softer bread in your salad, in your pasta salad, by all means, add them in now. Okay, so now what we need to do is add the rest of the Caesar dressing, which is 1/2 cup. I'm just gonna pour that on top. And just mix it around. All right, now we're all done. Now this pasta salad can go back in the refrigerator covered and it'll stay good for a couple of days. After that, the tomatoes give off too much liquid. The lettuce does start to get a little soggy, but for 2 days, it keeps just fine in the refrigerator. If you wanted to make it up a few days ahead of time, so let's say you wanted to make it up 3 days before you were gonna serve it, just don't mix in the other ingredients until just before serving, and that will be the best taste and texture for the salad. All right, there we go. All right, let me grab my bowl. I'm just gonna put a few croutons in here. Now these croutons are a little on the bigger side, so I would probably break them up a little bit or make them a little bit smaller if you're making homemade ones. If you're buying the ones from the store, they're usually a little bit smaller. All right, so let's go ahead and dish this out. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. All right, let me mix these croutons in here. Now, I will have to tell you the truth because I always do. I haven't tried it with the croutons yet. I thought it would be delicious, but I haven't tried it. So I'll let you know if croutons are a good addition or not. I thought you can't have a pasta Caesar salad without some croutons, right? So, all right, let's get some chicken and some of that pasta. Oh my gosh. Piece of the lettuce. The flavors are amazing. So my Caesar dressing has a little bit of bite to it. And the salad, just to be really well balanced, just needed that little sweetness from the golden raisins, and it works beautifully. I like the croutons. Very much. It just adds another texture to the salad. I really, really like them. Another little confession. I have always been horrible at making pasta salads. They never turn out like delicious and flavorful. Then I made a Hawaiian macaroni salad and that was so good. Made a little bit differently, but so good. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna keep trying. And when I made the Caesar salad dressing, I thought, this would be good to put on a pasta salad. And it is. It is so perfect. And it is so beautiful. And it is so easy. So you can change up the ingredients all you want. Don't use the chicken, use more chicken. Don't use tomatoes, use more tomatoes. It really doesn't matter. Get the pasta cooked perfectly, use a good quality Caesar dressing or make your own. Put the ingredients together and serve it up. Everybody's gonna love it. As always, make it yours, make it delicious, and keep it real.